What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today for you I've got build guide based around Kaby Lake. So let's go check it out. Okay, so to start this video I just want to point out a few things. One, excuse all the background noise. You can hear that, dog's barking. We have to have the doors open because something's wrong with our AC. That sucks because it's starting to get warm around here. Two, excuse if this video looks a little crappy, kind of rushed. I didn't do much preparation on the production aspect. The research on the computer is there, but I just kind of threw this video together. It's kind of why your lighting's all wonky and I haven't shaved, just got back off the boat, so I'm all Grizzly Adams over here. But forget all of that, we still have a good build, so we are going to go and check that out right now. To start, it's based around Kaby Lake. It's going to be about the $2,000 price range, so we're just going to start right off the back with the heart processor, the i7-7700k. Now before we do anything, I want to stress something that everyone has stressed so far. If you have a skylake build, don't upgrade. There's no point. There's almost no difference. They're going to boost higher. There's Optane support from Intel, but there's no use. There's no point. The chipset on Z270 doesn't give you a ton of benefits. But if you're coming from an older platform, Ivy Bridge, Sandy Bridge, something like that, you get a lot out of this. I will say, however, if you're coming off of AMD, wait. Got some cool things coming. AMD has released Ryzen and Zen processors. Well, released pre-orders. So wait. But I'm going on a massive tangent. I digress. Let's get back to this. This is the i7-7700k Kaby Lake. 4.2 gigahertz and can boost up to 5. 4.85. Whatever you can push it to. It is 8 threads. It's a quad core, so it's got hyper-threading. That's really cool. A lot of processing power right there. So if you're doing content creation, video editing, stuff like that, this is going to be a really good processor for that. Processor this big that can boost to 5 gigahertz, need something to cool it. So let's make it stylish. So we're going to go NZXT with the Kraken X62. It's a 280mm AIO. But the real cool thing about this is, let's see if we can't get a good picture. The actual block, RGB LEDs on the NZXT logo and that ring around it. So that is awesome. You get to kind of do a little customization. It's got some effects to go along with it too. It's all controllable by the Hue software, or the CAM software. So if you have like the Hue Plus lighting system, it's all in the same spot. But 280mm, that's a lot of cooling power. So you have no problem with that whatsoever. Gonna put it on something. Motherboard. I'm going to do the Asus TUF Z270. Why? It's mostly aesthetics for me, really. I love the TUF motherboards and the thermal armor, and I just think they look awesome. I'm in the middle on this with that kind of digital camo look. I don't know how I feel about that, but the armor itself I think is awesome. But the motherboard does have a lot of useful things. For instance, USB Type-C, USB 3.1. It's also got dual Ethernet, which is awesome. If you have a router that can support high-speed internet, really high-speed internet, put 2 ports in there, you're going to notice a difference. It does have HDMI and I believe that's DVI on board, but you don't need to use that. Who cares? But tons of connectivity, all you're going to really need, and it looks really nice. But it does, let's see if it has a picture. Does it? It's not showing it. Part of this armor, right here. The armor pops up, and that's actually where you put an M.2 slot. So while there's not an M.2 in the build, try to keep it a little budget oriented. If you have an extra $100-120 and get a nice solid M.2, you can actually put it on here and hide it if you want, if you don't get like a nice pretty one. But that's up to you. It does have it there. But it's a really good all-around board. Good aesthetic in my opinion. Asus has done a lot. They've upgraded the audio capacitors. They've better power delivery. I mean, overall, they've done a lot to their motherboards across their whole lineup. You'll have no misconceptions or being upset about the TUF Z270. For memory, you got a kind of a grayish camo, digital camo style. So I wanted to keep it pretty modern. So I went all black. Corsair Vengeance LPX. Good RAM, really good memory. 16 gigs, so you get to take up all dual channel. Not a lot to say. 2133, it's fast, it's sleek, it's small. That's all I have to say about that. Memory, or storage, not memory, storage. Need storage. At this point on a build, if you don't have an SSD somewhere in this thing, you have issues. So we have a OCZ Triton by Toshiba, 480 gig. So that means your operating system, if you're like a gamer and you stream, any streaming softwares, if you're an editor, all your editing software can go on there, make it run fast, quick, easy. Games you really like. You can load up actually quite a lot of games on this, and everything's going to run really snappy. That's the benefit of a solid state drive. Everything's going to be quick. Gotta have a tasty beer if you're going to do a video. But fast, snappy, reliable. It's not expensive. 120 bucks. That's good. But you need mass storage. So Seagate Barracuda, 3 terabyte for under $100. It's actually really reliable. Seagate, you've heard of them, Seagate, Western Digital, they're like neck and neck, whatever. They're good. But for 3 terabyte, 90 bucks, that's great. So I would get that right now. Even if you're not doing a build, get this. This is just a great deal. 7,200 RPM, so not much more to say. Great for the price. Pride and joy time. GPU. This is actually the new GTX 1080 for the win. ICX. Oh, ICX cooler. What does that mean? Not much. Doesn't mean go out and buy this card if you already have a GTX 1080. But if you don't have a 1080 or any of the 1000 Pascal series, what this has is better thermal dissipation, supposedly, through, where is it? This backplate. But it also has, does it have a picture? It does not. All throughout this PCB are thermal sensors, so you can better regulate and monitor the thermals on this thing. And they have a 2-fan design, but they operate separately. So they're actually going to cool things separately. It's just really interesting. For the price, it's not really any more expensive than a normal 1080 from EVGA, and you get better control of your thermals. So, being that if you don't already have one, it's a great one to pick up. I apologize for the loud engines in the background. But it's EVGA. I really like their cards. I just like their style and design. And they perform really well. And normally, they get a pretty good overclock right out of the box. You know, this is 1860 megahertz. That's great. 1.8 gigahertz is wonderful. But I like it. And this case is going to be NZXT H440. I'm doing a lot from NZXT. It's a good case. It's pretty sleek. And it's really easy to work inside because it's got a lot of useful cable management tips or tricks. You can see in this picture that that's a power supply enclosure, so you can hide the majority of the cables and easily route them through the back, which has got, is it going to show a picture? It kind of shows a picture right there, but it's pretty good amount of space to route your cables. A lot of grommets, make it clean. I like the aesthetic, black and red. I really like the color scheme. A nice side panel window so you can see that nice RGB cooler you have on X62. It's always fun. And 90 bucks, that's actually a pretty good deal for NZXT. I mean, they do really good quality cases. And yeah. Like I said before, it has a power supply shield. So here's the power supply, final object. This price, might as well go modular, make everything look cleaner so you don't have just a massive cable sitting down there. In this case, went with EVGA. One perk is all black, not sleeve, but all black power cable, so it looks nice. You know, it's going to blend and kind of not stand out and pop out. It is fully modular, so you, like I said, use the cables you need. You don't have to have a bunch of cable clutter. But 80 plus gold, 750 watts. You got plenty of overhead to overclock either your GPU, your CPU, or both. So plenty of overhead to do that without, you know, risking your system shutting down. And it's EVGA. They're pretty trusted. They're pretty reliable, and they work. that's all I gotta say about that. Like I said, this is not planned. This production of this video wasn't planned. I'm kind of just winging it. But as you can see, you got everything to build a really kick-ass computer for $1,950. Not bad at all to have a kick-ass system. Again, this system does not include peripherals or a Windows key, but I will leave a link down in the description below where you can get a cheap Windows key, 7, 8, 8.1, Windows 10, whatever you like, for a lot cheaper than retail. In the video I'll explain more into it, but that's besides the point. And like I said, no mouse or keyboard, you got to provide that on your own. This is the bulk of the system that does all the weight moving. If you have a TV, you can have a monitor, but on $2,000 you should at least invest in something good. I'm going off on a massive tangent here. I don't know what I'm doing, but there you go. You've got a build using Kaby Lake, brand new architecture from it. Well, not new architecture, the revamped architecture from Intel. It's pretty awesome, actually, as a system. I mean, it's pretty quick, pretty fast, snappy, snappy. But that's all I got. I'll see you guys in the next video. We've got a couple more planned, a couple more coming out sometime, hopefully soon. But for now, I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.